Remember, guys, it's just a 7 game tournament. It's not that important. He doesn't need to prove himself to anyone. He doesn't need to perform or score. All he's here for is to honor the occasion and go home. But anyways, there's a bigger conversation we need to have, and this is something Hugo Bros has been emphasizing ever since he got to South African football, is that we need international experience to be able to compete in these major tournaments. You look at Congo, they haven't featured in this tournament in the last 20 years. Upon their return, they face probably tournament favorites in Portugal, but they come up with the result. No one expected this, right? We all expected them to crumble. But because they had experience on their side, because they had players who have the temperament of playing in the biggest occasions, that is why they were able to pull off such a result. You can argue that pound for pound, South Africa can compete with any nation in Africa when it comes to talent, right? But when the whole world is watching, when pressure is at its highest, it's not just about talent. Experience is very, very important. Because you look at what happened today, Congo concede in the first 6 minutes, and you expect that they are going to crumble, they are going to panic. Portugal are probably going to score more goals because they deployed a defensive strategy in the opening phases of the game. So now that their defense has been breached, everyone thought they would crumble and the floodgates would open, right? But here's where the experience comes in now. They remained composed and they got themselves back in the game. Fortunately for them, towards the end of halftime. So they went into the second half still level. But most importantly, they kept Portugal out, right? Apart from that goal, there was no other shot on target that they faced. Mbemba was the orchestra, their captain at the back. He's played in these games in multiple occasions throughout his career, so he knows exactly what is required from him when his team goes down. Johan Visa, how many times has he done this while he was still playing for Brighton? Used to the occasion, knows exactly what to do in these type of situations, right? Same about Wan-Bissaka, Masuaku. They are not the best of players, but they've played in the biggest occasions in the Premier League. And that is what you need to compete in these major tournaments. But anyways, let's not get carried away, Messi fans. This is how teams who normally have a good tournament usually start, right? You remember 4 years ago, Argentina actually lost. So I expect Portugal to come back very strong and they will actually make it very far in this competition. Simply because of this result, it's a huge wake-up call for them. And hopefully Martinez has the necessary balls to put this man on the bench because everything was cohesive, the defense, the midfield, but in the final third, something was missing. And we all know who the issue is. But anyways.